Welcome, everybody. Good morning. I am so thrilled that you are here to join us. This is our first ever Spotlight series, and we are so thrilled to kick off today with Dr. Ali, all the way from the UK. For those who don't know, Melanie and myself, Mel, give a wave. Christine and Melanie, we have a company called Power in Aging. So, for those of you who haven't joined us yet, we've been going for about 3.5 years, and we started off with a guest speaker series. We've had so many wonderful guests from a range of topics, giving wonderful wisdom and knowledge to our community. I think we've done about 36 events now over the years, and we do record those, and they get kept in a library for our members. So we've been really blessed to have such a beautiful community over the years. And then we decided to start a membership program as well. So we were doing workshops and monthly coaching, and we evolved into an annual membership. So Mel and I worked really hard and put together a program where it's self-paced, and you have a private portal with your own monthly questions and coaching, tips and tools, a power list, 6 videos every month, and every month you open up to a brand new theme. So we're really proud of our annual membership, and we offer coaching with that. We have our monthly coaching sessions. We have our groupettes where the community gets together, and we also do power hours. So it's a full program. We absolutely love it, and we'd love to tell you more about that program. If you're interested, you can reach out to us at any time. And we hope you've already joined our mailing list by this point and that you're here. And we are now introducing our Spotlight series. So Mel and I decided, let's get a few things going to kind of kick off the new year. So we do have a course as well that's going to be starting in January on a soul tones, which is a beautiful vibrational healing method that will be running for 1 month if you want to join us in January for that. And our Spotlight series is kicking off today. We decided, Mel and I use a lot of very near and dear to our hearts products and services that really make our lives easier, that really focus on health and wellness and peace of mind. And this happens to be probably our favorite product that we're now using regularly. So without further ado, I'm going to actually pass you over to Melanie first. And Mel, you're muted, to introduce our first guest speaker for our Spotlight series. So welcome.
Yay, yeah. So this is exciting. Both, she's our first Spotlight series speaker, and she's amazing. So welcome to Dr. Ali. She and I met through a functional blood analysis course. She is brilliant. She has more than 20 years experience with as an allopathic doctor in the UK. She's in Britain. That's right, Britain. I really get so anyway,
Yes.
Let's go with that. So she has lots of experience in that whole NIH. Is that what it is in Britain?
NHS.
NHS. Area, but she also does functional. She's always learning new things. She has this drive to continually consume more information. So she's also a functional doctor. So she does wonderful work with women through their 40s, 50s, 60s, the change of life, working with your hormones, all of these kind of things. And she's just always adding to her toolkit, let's call it. So I'll introduce you, Ali. If I've missed anything, please speak up, because I know you have lots of credentials that you, and I think we would love to hear them all. So welcome, and thank you so much for coming.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today. I don't know that you'd want all of my credentials. It might take a week, but certainly we'll go through that. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And if you've got any questions, by all means, write them in the chat, and I'm sure Mel and Christine will just make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, we'll monitor
Mel
the
and
chat
Christine
for you.
will collect them up and ask me at the end. Okay, now is that the correct screen, Mel and Christine?
Yes, perfect.
Great, perfect. So I'm Dr. Ali. I'm a functional medicine doctor and National Health Service GP. Much prefer the functional medicine. I'm also now in a private long COVID clinic My functional medicine clinic is focused on women's hormones, menopause, PCOS, PMS, all of those sorts of things. And I've also been into business for a long time. I started, I'm from an entrepreneurial family, so I'm always looking for business opportunities. So this is me in my functional medicine clinic. I'm a deep thinker, and I'm always looking beyond the obvious. So one of my credentials that most people don't know about is that I'm a certified animal healer and equine healer. So I'm not just an MD. I do lots of other things as well. I'm a shaman and crystal healer as well. But I also have an MPhil. So I've done scientific research, spent 4 years in scientific research. So to get the most out of this training, I'd love you to turn off your mobile phones, unless it's to invite somebody else to Mel and Christine's community. Turn off Facebook, likewise. I won't say invite the friends to my YouTube channel, but invite them to see Christine and Mel, and stay focused and open your mind and heart to what we're going to talk about today. So one of my questions is, have you been patched yet? And what we're talking about today is some new technology, wellness technology, that makes a huge difference to our health and well-being. And what we're doing is we're elevating, activating, and regenerating. So first of all, we're talking about a company called LIFEWAVE. This is stem cell reactivation technology in a patch, which seems a bit bizarre. I'm sure you will have heard of stem cells and stem cell research and stem cell injections, but this is something new that works at a whole nother level. I'm just going to play a quick video which will help you to understand the way this technology works.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally.
So you can see that we're using a technology that uses phototherapy using our own body's light, which is quite amazing and quite astounding. So what is LifeWave? It is a company that's been going for 20 years. It was established in 2004. It's open in 87 countries. I'm going to flip through this, but I just want you to understand that it's a well-established company. It's not going to disappear. The X39 took 10 years to develop and 10 million, I think, to develop, because it is next level technology. The patches are the first patch was the energy enhancer, and the number has grown since then. It was made the takings were about 20 million in 2021 and 321 million in 2022. So we're projected to keep increasing, especially at the moment where there's so much focus on age reversal, longevity, biohacking. Many of you will have heard these phrases because people are seeing their relatives or their friends getting ill as they get older and just not having enough they may be adding years to life, but not adding life to years. And we want to be able to do both. So David Schmidt is the inventor. He's from an inventing family, so he knows all about patenting and inventing. And he specialized in age reversing and focused his attention on stem cell research in 2008. $4.5 million it took to bring to market for X39. So this one is different to the others. It's next level. And there are many, many patents. There's over 150 that mean that other people can't compete with us on this. But this patent includes anything where, as a result of elevating copper peptide, we're activating stem cells and improving energy. So there really can't be any competition. The New England Journal of Medicine has stated that the number one indicator of wellness is directly correlated to the number of adult stem cells in the bloodstream. And those stem cells are the cells that have the potential to develop into any kind of cell needed. And they have the ability to heal and repair any organ or tissue, which seems a bit magical and a bit like Star Trek, I know. But it is actually true. Our body can really heal itself given the resources it needs. So as we get older, we have fewer stem cells that are active. Many of them remain inactive. So as you get older, more of them become inactive. When we are a fetus, we have many more than this. By the time we're a teenager, we have a tiny proportion. And then from that starting point of 1 billion active adult stem cells, by the age of 60, it's dropped by 90%. And by the age of 80, it's dropped by 95%. So we've got these dormant stem cells. Some of them have died. Most of them are dormant. What can we do to activate them? Or do we just go with the injections that other people have, that they have to pay a lot? It's not, we'll come to that later, but it's not a great way of doing this. So how does X39 work? Well, there is a peptide called GHKCU, copper peptide, which is considered the holy grail of anti-aging. The patches themselves are made of organic nanocrystals. You can see an example patch here down the bottom right. And in the center, you can see there's a thicker area. That's full of nanocrystals. And these organic nanocrystals are formulated to activate your copper peptide. So when that light from our own infrared light comes up, hits the nanocrystals and is deflected back into the body, it's deflected at a specific wavelength, that then activates a particular peptide. So each of the patch types activates a different peptide, but the X39 trumps all the others. So it's non-invasive, it's non-transdermal, and the adhesive is medical grade. So there's very few people actually have allergies to the adhesive. So what happens when we activate our stem cells? Well, what we see with the X39 patch, we see rapid pain relief, we see reduced inflammation, it supports wound healing, we see improved energy and vitality, we see improved mental clarity, we see it enhancing sports performance, we get a faster recovery from exercise, and we get improved skin appearance. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, to be quite honest. And I'm going to show you some of the testimonials that we have a little bit later. So how do we wear X39? You can in fact wear it anywhere. We tend to use acupressure, acupuncture points, meridian points, but these are the two sites that were used in all the research. So I tend to wear my X39 on the back of my neck and my X49 below my tummy button. You wear them for 12 hours on and take them off for at least 12 hours to help the body repair and rejuvenate and reduce acclimatization, reduce the body getting numb to the effects. And you throw away the patch, although a number of us actually put them on our pets for the next day so that they get some of the benefits as well. And then we put a new patch on the next morning or evening, depending on the type of patch. One of the most important things is that we do need to drink plenty of good quality water. And I'm sure Mal and Christine have talked to you about the quality of water. We do recommend, at the very least, filtered water to ensure it is cleaned of some of the chemicals that are added by and pollutants that are added to tap water or that end up in there. So here we have long-term results with X39, and this is what happens within the first few days. We see that 4,000 genes begin to reset. We've seen that in studies of what happens when we raise GHKCU in the body. Within 6 weeks, we find the brain becomes more balanced, and many people find decreased symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I actually found on the second day my sleep improved such that I started remembering my dreams, and I had not remembered my dreams for decades, and I now remember them every morning. And if I wake in the night, I'm remembering those dreams. So that is a marker for better quality sleep. Within 3 months, we see that collagen is increased, and we get a decrease in wrinkles, we get improved hair growth, we get increased structural integrity of both your skeletal and your muscular systems. It has other effects as well. We see a lot of changes, some of which may be subtle or invisible or impalpable, but some of them are more tangible. And then within 6 months, one study showed that 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using X39. This is only possible nowadays where we've got ways of measuring cardiovascular age. This is truly age reversing. So most important thing is to make sure that hydration, and we recommend at least a 90-day trial for optimal results. Ideally, we recommend 90 days plus an additional month for every decade of life. So if you're 60, we recommend 9 months of using X39 before you say, actually, it's not having any effect. Because even if you're thinking, well, I've got knee pain and I'd like it to improve that, well, it might actually be working on something else in the body, like fatty liver, for example, that you're not aware of before it starts working on the knee. So it's up to your stem cells and your body what it heals first, or what it optimizes first. This is a brilliant website, which I'm sure Mel and Christine will share or have shared with you. It gives you lots of information about the X39. In fact, it allows you to delve as superficially or deeply as you wish to, depending on your personality. We all know different people have different personalities. My sister would want to read absolutely everything on there before deciding to buy, whereas I'm in a bit of a hurry all the time, so I would just have a look at a couple of testimonials and say, actually, this is worth a try. So you're welcome to have a look in there. And then the 90-day protocol we've talked about. So this is one example. This is from a study. They did a study of about 14 or 15 people. They've got these pictures from brain scans. At the same time, they were also measuring stem cell activity and brain coherence, as well as the inflammation in the brain, which is what's visible on this scan. So if we look at the first one, this is a 77-year-old woman who placed the X39 on the back of her neck. On session 1, before she used the X39, there's a lot of inflammation here represented by the red areas, and there's some cool areas here. This is part of her brain. In session 2, after 3 weeks on X39, you can see there's been an improvement in the brain inflammation. There's no more red areas, there's a little bit of orange here. And they've also found improved brain coherence in the other ways that they were measuring the situation. And then session 3, we've got even less inflammation going on. There's no orange in this final picture. And this is after 6 weeks on X39. So there's a complete turnaround. There's also improved stem cell activity and better brain coherence using the other methods they used. And as you age, the stem cells in your organs, including the brain, the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, the skin, they go dormant. But we want to wake them up. We want to help them to start helping your body to heal again. Here we've got some pictures that show some of the inflammation reduction in the heart. So this is a special sort of a scan looking at the inflammation in the heart. And you can see there's a lot of red areas again showing in the initial picture. After 2 months, there's a reduction. And after 5 months, there's just none left at all virtually. And then these are showing the inflammation reduction we see within just 30 minutes of X39. Here we've got the top of someone's back and the lower back with a lot of inflammation showing before X39. And then these are the images. They're using the same scanner after 30 minutes of applying the X39 patch. And this lady, she was just carrying the X39 in her hand. And within 30 minutes, again, we've got a reduction of all this all this inflammation showing in the base of the thumb. And it's reduced drastically there. And people say, well, is it the placebo effect? Well, you'd have difficulty thinking of that as the placebo effect, but it is possible. We know that placebo is very, very powerful, but horses don't use the placebo. They don't decide whether something's going to help them or not. And these pictures show before and after, I think 6 months of one of the patches, and you can see the reduction of inflammation showing here. And the horse is looking a lot better. Looks like it's got laminitis or Cushing's by the look of it, but it might just be its winter coat. Anyway, this is an amazing image. I'm just going to show you a video that shows that it works on dogs as well. Did that sound better, hopefully? So this is that same dachshund who was dragging his legs, his back legs at the beginning. And after 4 days of patching, there's that improvement. It's crazy. So let's look at some visuals. Now, we're into aging and anti-aging, and we're into helping people to age well and to reduce some of the symptoms that are making a difference in their lives at the current time. But pictures tell 1,000 words, as we know. So I wanted to show you these. First of all, this is this lady. This is day 1 of patching. You can see she's got some bags under her eyes, some wrinkles around the nasolabial folds here. Here's day 42 and day 355. You can see a great improvement in the wrinkles. She's got a better light to her eyes. We've also got a picture elsewhere of her at 2 years, and it's even better. Here we're showing the effect of 45 days of X39, and this lady is with a year of X39 alone, and you can see the reduction in the wrinkles here and in the neck and around the mouth. But I just love the way she's got less hooding of her upper eyelids and a much brighter light in her eyes. Here we've got just 9 weeks of X39, and you can see she is looking so much better. She's got fewer age spots, fewer wrinkles. She just looks 10 years younger, if not more. And here we have a woman after 5 months. And again, we're looking at the neck wrinkles here and the sagging around the lips. And we can see an enormous difference after just 5 months. Here we have some more unusual issues. For a start, here's vitiligo. So vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder causing depigmentation of the skin, and of course the effects are much more marked in people with darker skins. And as a doctor, from an allopathic point of view, we consider this to be irreversible. All I can tell people in our health service, and I know Canada has a similar restrictive health service as well, all I can say is you'll need to use camouflage makeup. That's all we tell people, seriously. And you can't really put camouflage makeup on the lips there. But look what happened after 3 months of X39. Here's a happy bunny. There's so much less depigmentation going on here. He looks like a different man. And this guy also, this is after a year of using X39 and a light box. He did use a light box as well, but here you've got the depigmentation, and a year later it's just amazing. He is so happy. This lady down here, she had Bell's palsy. Now she had been stuck, so Bell's palsy sometimes reverses. It's treated with high dose steroids, sometimes it doesn't. And this lady had been stuck with this paralysis of the face for 18 months at the time she started using X39. And then after 3 months, wow. So the reason she's wearing the eye patch is because when you have Bell's palsy, you can't actually shut your eyelid properly. And so you get corneal damage because you don't blink when some dust flies in your eye. So you have to wear an eye patch to protect the eye. But amazing. And then we have psoriasis, which is another autoimmune disorder. And we see so psoriasis, it can be improved with sunlight. It can be made worse by stress, but often it's a chronic condition. And these red areas on the leg before she started using the X39, these are thickened plaques, so thickened area of skin with keratin. So for it to improve to this degree after just 12 hours of using the X39 is remarkable, to say the least. And sort of 10 days for it to have gone, this is not a usual rate of healing. Here we've got somebody who's had an operation on their forearm, and it's been sutured very smartly. But look, after 12 days, this is more healing than we would expect at this stage. And we hear time and time again, surgeons, being amazed at the rate of healing that they experience after surgery. Here we have 5 days of X39, and you can see the reduction in the venous stasis. So we've got pooling of the blood of the veins in the foot here. Very common problem, especially associated with varicose veins. Often people get spider veins in their feet as well. Now they've put an X39 on the foot there, and then after day 5 there's already a big improvement. Live blood analysis is another modality that really shows what's going on in the blood. It's frowned on by allopathic medicine, but it shows things that are going on. It's really interesting. And what we have here is somebody who's got a lot of inflammation going on in the body. The reason I know that is because there are these stacked up queues, if you like, of red blood cells. These are called rouleaux, and they are caused by the serum here being very viscous. So that means it's a bit like thick oil. The red blood cells can't flow freely. There are other changes we're seeing here, but this is the most obvious one. And after just 10 minutes of applying X39, taking another blood sample, looking at under the microscope, look at this change. This is what we're hoping to see, although we don't want spherocytes like that necessarily. And then here we've got week 3 after starting the X39 patch in someone's ankles. Now, we know who are in medicine or who look after the elderly or who have family members who are older. Edema like this, swelling of the ankles, is so common and so intractable. There's nothing we can do about it, and it breaks my heart every day in our health service because I can't tell people about these patches. And I know that the same applies to Canadian doctors, and I've talked to Canadian doctors before about ways around this, and there are ways around it, but basically it's considered a vested interest if we talk to people. But look at this, day 1 and week 3, look at the difference. I mean, this is astounding because I know how chronic these ankles are. Sorry, I tend to spend so much time on the testimonials because they are so powerful. They mean so much to me as a doctor, because these results are unheard of, you know. Oops. So let's look at some wound healing. This person has had maybe a skin lesion removed and steri-strips applied. Maybe they had a fall. Halfway through, you've got still quite a wound that's healing, but at 21 days, that's healed up nicely. This gentleman, I suspect, has had a fall. It's very common as people get older to topple over. Now he's going to town with his patches. He's got one there, one there, one there, one there, possibly one there as well. There may be a combination of patches like LIFEWAVE for the pain, as well as Eon for the inflammation, as well as the X39. But 7 weeks later, you wouldn't know that he'd had a fall. Younger people, we know they've got more stem cells, so we expect them to heal up more quickly. But this young man had a snowboarding accident, and 5 days, I wouldn't expect that to heal up that well at 5 days. You could hardly see anything. And this little chappie, he shut his finger in the car door, I believe, and the tip actually came off. Parents took him to the ER with the tip in ice and begged or insisted that the plastic surgeon sew the tip back on, even though they said there's no hope, this is already necrotic, there's no way this is going to take. So the surgeons never expected this to survive. But look, here we have after a couple of weeks, and here we have 21 days later, completely functioning finger. And then hair growth. I mean, who knows a man in their life who has a bit of hair loss? I certainly do. My husband started losing his hair when he was 22, bless him. My son's not got good genes on either side of the family. But look at this. For 7 weeks of X39, for this hair growth to be like that, and 6 weeks here. And this chap's got severe alopecia here. And look at that, just amazing. And then what about things beside these? Well, athletes use the patches. These cases are mainly the energy enhancer patch. Yours is called EE Burst or EE Spark, and I'm going to come to that in a minute, because Canada insisted that the patches be called different names, but that's okay. We've got to love the officials, haven't we? Here we have Michael Phelps, well-known swimmer who won Olympic gold in 2004. Remember, 2004 was when the company first started, and David Schmidt was found by talking to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to somebody, found himself 3 weeks later patching the Olympic swimming team for USA, and they got gold, and they found that with some of these patches they got an enhanced performance. Serena Williams wearing the energy enhancer, and David Beckham, the soccer player, wearing energy enhancer there. And then Lorenzo Savadori is wearing an X39 on his third eye to help his focus and concentration while he's doing his extreme sport. And there are many more athletes, and you don't have to be an athlete to get the benefit of this. You don't need to have hair loss. We all benefit from these patches in different ways. So this is our testimonial Telegram site. Now, I just want to really make clear that this is a wellness device, not a medical device. Okay, so LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Success stories are based on personal accounts and do not reflect on what other people may experience. Everybody's body is unique and different. And people may be putting in place other things besides LifeWave in these case studies that we're going to talk about. So they may be going on to a better diet, exercising more, doing some mindfulness. There are all sorts of things that we all need to be doing to promote our better health. And Mel and Christina, I'm sure, are teaching you all those within the membership. But on this, we've got over 900 testimonies grouped into over 160 categories on this Telegram channel. Now, people say, oh, well, I'm not on Telegram. Well, I wasn't until this came along, because it's not my favorite platform. But the benefit of it is that if you come and join this Telegram channel now, you can see all these past posts. Whereas if it was WhatsApp, you wouldn't be able to see anything that was posted before. So that's why we use Telegram for this, and the fact that it's easily sorted out. So we have pain, we have thyroid cancer, Crohn's disease, blood pressure, whole load of things. Thinking about blood pressure, we've seen people who, one way and another, have reduced, working with their doctor, of course. You must, if you're on treatment of any sort, you need to discuss it with your doctor and work with them. But we've seen people reduce their blood pressure medication. We've seen people with such severe pain that they are in a wheelchair for part of the time. Now they're up and walking. It's quite incredible, the success stories we're seeing. Tinnitus here. We've seen several cases where tinnitus that have been going on for years disappears or reduced markedly. And tinnitus is another of those problems. As a doctor, that I know there's nothing we can do to help tinnitus. You're just going to live with it. You know, this is the standard medical speak, and I'm sure you will be aware of these sorts of cases where you've just got to put up with it. We can't help you, whether it's chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia or whatever. Migraine, we've seen a lot of cases of people with migraines who have had that resolve. Gout and other types of arthritis and inflammation. Asthma, so we've seen people improve their asthma, reduce their use of asthma medication, reduce their reactivity to allergens. So say they're allergic to cats, they may find that they're less allergic to them. Epilepsy, so we've seen cases where the fit frequency has reduced. Fibromyalgia, pain, enormous benefits in many cases. Even things like MS and diabetes, we've seen somebody whose diabetic retinopathy has improved. Now, as a doctor, diabetic retinopathy, that's the vascular damage to the back of the eye. That's something that doesn't improve, full stop. All we can do is use laser treatment to hold it, plus control the diabetes and blood sugar so well that it doesn't progress, but we can't actually make it revert. But we have seen that in some cases. Parkinson's, amazing cases of people who are, you may know people with Parkinson's, but people who've gone completely flat, couldn't react, very little get up and go, can only walk very slowly, if at all. People who are now, one woman said, I've got my husband back. And he was actually giving LifeWave talks like this, live in person. Neuropathy, there are several neuropathic conditions, including neuropathic pain. So post-Shingles pain, for example, or trigeminal neuralgia. We've got someone who had such severe trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia is a shooting pain in the face affecting the trigeminal nerve, which has 3 branches in the face. And it's such severe shooting pain that people, it's called the suicide disease because it's so severe people want to commit suicide rather than live with it. And one of our team members was having 4 or 5 episodes a day and had had it for 45 years. Now, when she started using the X39, she saw a reduction in frequency and severity immediately. And by about 7 weeks or so, it had gone away completely. So quite incredible. Autism, we've seen, again, another of our team members. We've got plenty of team members with autistic children or children with ADHD. This is such a common affliction nowadays. Thinking of Olga and Javi Solas, their son Alex was 9 when he started on the X39. And there was just, he was non-verbal. He was completely dependent on other people. He walked with aid and he couldn't swing on the swing, but he loved going on the swing. So he always needed his brothers or mum and dad to push him when he was on the swing. And I think it was the first or second day they started using the X39 patch. They saw him out the kitchen window. They could see the swing going like this outside the kitchen window. And they thought, well, that's funny. I thought his brother was upstairs, but he must be pushing him. They went out and he was swinging himself. He'd actually got the hang of that movement of your body weight that allows you to swing yourself on the swing. Then a few days later, he was pointing at the Peloton bike, the stationary bike in their gym, and he'd always wanted to go on the bike. He actually sat on there and he's now actually using a proper bike in the park with stabilizers. And it's also, having been non-verbal to the age of 11, he's 11 now, he's now saying a few words like pizza and dad. It's just been heartwarming to see this effect. And you can see from these titles how these are all titles under which there are several different testimonials. So what are the patches that we have? Well, X39 is the foundation patch. It's the most important one. It can just help the body heal. What can I say? With my husband, he had some really severe pain in his hands that was stopping his hands functioning. They were derived from him playing American football, unusual in the UK, I know, but he played for the Brighton team at the time. And he was, used to, he had been gripping these balls, and later on he developed this pain in his hands that meant he was dropping things. He was even dropping things that he was taking out of the oven. Now, on the 3rd day of using the patch, the pain in his hands disappeared completely. The pain in his ankle has now gone. The pain in his knees have reduced enormously, so he only needs 1 paracetamol. You would call it Tylenol, not 2. And for me, my changes have been much more subtle. People often say, well, what changes have you seen? My changes are more subtle because I'm a functional medicine doctor living a very healthy lifestyle. I'm gluten-free and doing a lot of mindfulness, taking my supplements. But I saw the improvement in sleep immediately. My eyelashes have grown again after a year using the X39 patch. That is, if you have an underactive thyroid, you may have noticed hair falling out from your skin of your legs, not needing to shave so much. If you're a woman, you might notice your eyelashes getting less when you're putting mascara on. January this year, I was looking at my eyes when I was putting my mascara on. I was thinking, they're longer. And these things are often so subtle you don't notice, which is why we recommend you download the health tracker so you can check off symptoms as they, so you can check off what's improving. I had pain in my buttocks, which has gone away completely. I couldn't sit here without moving around the whole time. But after about 6 months, that pain in my buttocks started to improve, and now it's gone, with few exceptions. My floaters I discovered about 3 months ago, only because George, one of my brand partners, mentioned his had gone, or mentioned a case where someone's had gone. I hadn't even noticed they'd gone. As a short-sighted person, I'd had floaters for decades. Those are the little black dots and threads that float around in the back of your eyes so you can see them if you close your eyes. It's none. I close my eyes now, No floaters, unheard of. Here are some of the other products now. First of all, we're going to do the US versions, all right? So these are the support patches. The X49, we recommend you use these in conjunction with X39 because the X39 has the most powerful impact. X49 helps with muscle mass and bone density and heart health. It also has been shown to reduce EMFs, so it's worth using in conjunction together with X39 if you are like me, working at a computer a lot, and many of us are. LIFEWAVE is for pain reduction and ache relief without side effects. You use 2 at a time with this one, so that's 15 pairs of patches, 15 uses. Usually most of the sleeves have got, well, all the sleeves have got 30 patches, so for most of them that's 30 days use. The glutathione is an immune booster and antioxidant. We find that it increases, so the peptide that's activated by the nanocrystals in this patch increase your natural glutathione levels by 300%. It's crazy. Really important for liver support and any detoxification situations that you may be in, and most of us are in that situation. Carnosine, which helps with nerves, brain function, memory and focus. It also lengthens telomeres. So for those of you in the know, that means that it's truly anti-aging, because we know that aging is related to shortening telomeres with age as we get older. And then Eon reduces stress, it reduces inflammation in the body and the brain, and that has a result of reducing stress and anxiety. The Silent Night actually increases melatonin level and improves the quality of your sleep, so that in a study of about 15, I think, insomniacs, the average improvement in duration of sleep was by 66%, which is unheard of. I still recommend you do natural techniques to improve your melatonin as well, but it's great. The energy enhancer increases energy, increases fat burning, and increases endurance. So this is one that is used by most of the sports people. And if you have an athlete you're thinking of sharing this with, they often wear them for their hard days, so when they're really building up, and for their actual sports days. But then on their rest days, they don't need the energy enhancer. So again, you're using 2 at a time with the energy enhancer. SP6 Complete, it's marketed to reduce food cravings and improve weight and appetite. It aids hormone balance, but it also aids the balance of other hormones. And I've seen one woman with menorrhagia, which is extreme heavy periods. She was having to get up every half hour overnight, so loads of flooding, real problem. And then within 3 hours of putting the SP6 patch on, she found that the flow had reduced. And then aloe vera, it helps with vibrant skin, reduces wrinkles, builds collagen. It also is great, again, for the pituitary. So a lot of us choose to sleep with it over our third eye overnight. It really helps with connection and dreams, and yeah, lovely patch. Now, Canada. Canada has special rules. What would you know? Oh, I see. So yeah, so I wrote all these. I didn't realize it was going to add them little by little. The X49 is supposed to just say for the stimulation of acupuncture points. Or what do you know? So first of all, note the name changes and note the description changes. So if you're in Canada, LIFEWAVE does not... I'm not going to be able to flip between the two. I hoped I would. Let's see. Yeah, so LIFEWAVE does not ache relief. It's only it's only for localized and temporary pain reduction. And for all of these others, instead of improving sleep or first of all, in Canada we're only allowed to say that it's for stimulation of the acupuncture points. So there we go. What can I say? And then they've had to change the names. So as well as having the French name here as well for you lovely French-speaking Canadians, we've actually had to change the glutathione patch to Renew, the energy enhancer to ENR Spark, the carnosine patch to Advance, and then the others still have the same names. So there you go. There's Canadian special rules. There are some additional products available in EU, USA and Canada, and these are, sorry they've come up in the wrong order, but here we have it. So the Aloe Vera Nightly Restore Facial Creme, the Aloe Vera Daily Refresh Facial Nectar, and the Aloe Vera Revive Eye Cream. It's a very exciting company to be part of, because the research they're doing on water that's going to come out probably in North America next year is quite amazing. So you may be asking yourself, well, how much does this cost? This is often what people are wondering, and I'd just like you to bear in mind the perspective. So stem cell injections are reputed to be around $10,000 for a full course, but in actual fact, I would say much more than that. I have a client who has a client who's paying £35,000 per every 6 months to go and have stem cell injections. Of course, we have to travel outside the US and Canada and the UK, so we have to travel to other countries like Costa Rica and Mexico, and they often don't work as well. LifeWave patches do seem to be more effective. We find that 96% of people have a tangible improvement in something within the 90 days, and often it's much more quickly, as I've outlined. And these prices are in US dollars, I'm afraid, not Canadian dollars. So sorry, I know that's an issue. And please, I should have taken this bit off, because it's not including VAT and delivery. That's the Rand price, because I've based this on a talk by my South African colleagues. So basically it's $149.95 retail price for X39 and X49, $79.95 for all the other patches. And I'd like you to think to yourself, would you like to pay retail price, wholesale price, or would you like to have your patches free? And that is possible, and I'm going to touch on that briefly, and you can talk to Melanie and Christina about that later. So the wholesale price is $99.95 plus VAT for X39 and X49. So tax and shipping, I would say, in the US and Canada. And then the others are $49.95 to $69.95, depending on which patches. So how do you get this wholesale price? How can you get $50 off? Well, one way you can get the wholesale price is to become a brand partner. And this is particularly suitable if you are the sort of person who, if it were to work for you, you would want to share it. It's also particularly relevant to you if you've got a health and well-being business, or if you are looking for additional income or for an additional stream of income, or if you are somebody who's entrepreneurial and really loves business and is ready for another challenge. And in order to do that, you can buy the core pack, which includes 3 sleeves of X39. So that's ideal if you want to give it that 90-day trial. You can also use mix and match with some of the support patches, but we recommend to focus on the X39. The advanced pack, which gives you 6 sleeves of X39 or X49, and mix and match, you can use some of the support sleeves as part of that package as well. Or the premium pack, which is for the serious business builder. Now, if you can't stretch to that, but you still think, I can't stretch to that, my funds are so tight, but I really would like to do this as a business, then you can buy this starter pack. And I'm going to come to it, and I didn't add it to the PowerPoint, I forgot to, but I'm going to come to that in a minute. We do have some Black Friday special deals. So one option would be for you to get the starter pack and get some of the Black Friday deals, which have 30% off. So that's cool. But these are already heavily discounted, these packs. Now, what if you really do not want to do the business? You wouldn't share it with your best friend if it worked magically for you, even if they've got severe pain or whatever. That's fine. I know that we're not all entrepreneur minded, and a lot of us are quite introvert and find it quite difficult to talk about things like this. So let's look at what your options are. So you can, when you come into the website, into Mel and Christina's website, and go to purchase your patches, you can either buy as a guest, and you get this option. As you go to buy, as you highlight your shopping cart, this comes up and you have these options. So you can be a guest and pay the regular retail price, or you could become a preferred customer, which gives you discounted pricing and great perks. Okay, for that you do need to go onto the subscription program, so you're getting your patches automatically shipped to you every month without you needing to worry about ordering. You can put it off a couple of times in a year. So you can put it off to 2 months for a couple of times in the year. But basically, this is for people who are on a regular order. And then there's the PC Plus program, which is amazing. And I'm just going to talk about that for a moment, because most of us don't realize, even as brand partners, what the benefits are of this. So the PC Plus program, again, you have a regular subscription. You're paying $19.95 a year for that 1 year's membership. And what you get your LifeWave products at the lowest prices, those wholesale prices. You also get your patches coming out to you every month, so you don't need to worry about forgetting to order. You get loyalty gifts, and you get a referral link, and you get some free product samples. So let's have a look at that in a little more depth. So with the PC Plus program, you get these advantages that I've just mentioned. You get the option to create a pre-populated shopping cart for a friend. You get a referral link, and you get these monthly product samples. So the actual ones that we get, so in your first monthly subscription order, so after your first month, when your next order comes through, you get sent 10 patches of X39 free, no matter what your order was for, as long as it was a minimum of something like 35 points worth. In your second consecutive monthly order, you get sent a YH Eon, so you get sent one of those. Again, 10 patches in a sleeve. And then on your third month, you get to try out the glutathione. In the fourth month, you get to try out the silent nights. And in the fifth month, you get to try out the carnosine. In the sixth month, when you've been having these auto orders every month, you get a full extra sleeve of any of the cheaper patches, not the X39 or X49, but any of these that you've tried. So the Eon, glutathione, or silent nights, or carnosine. And that's worth $149.95 at the retail price plus tax. So that's an amazing gift. And you also get loyalty rewards. So you get, after your third monthly subscription order, you get some swag. After the sixth one, you get some more swag. You get some bits and pieces, gifts from LifeWave. And then you also have the share program. So if you share with 3 or more people and their combined purchase comes to more than $300, then you get $100 credit towards your monthly subscription order. So that's really cool. But it's not as much as you would earn if you joined us as a brand partner. So if you really have an infinitesimal bone of entrepreneurial spirit in your body, we'd love you to join us as and buy one of those core packs, because those are the best value and they give you an amazing opportunity. And I will help you to make a success of that at the speed that you want to. Many people want to try these out first before sharing, but I have seen the magic of not doing that. I have one woman, so I talked to a dentist in Brighton in Sussex. She talked to a health coach. She talked to somebody else. No, it was her. So she shared it with one of her clients who had stage 4 breast cancer and was in intractable pain, no response to opiates, no response to morphine, not responding to CBD oil, not responding to mind-body work, not responding to TENS machine, nothing. And she just left a voice note that Nicoletta shared with me that just made me cry, because she'd had the first night's sleep in her life, for months and months of this terrible pain from the metastases, and she went on having painless nights, painless days, just because of these patches. So that would never have happened. That woman would be dead before she'd have got the chance to try them out if either Nicoletta or Anna had delayed sharing it. So please don't delay sharing this with people. And you are in the right place at the right time with the right product. You can become a wholesale customer. You can become a business builder. It's up to you. You have this choice. And many of us have this, we're at this pivotal time. We've had COVID, we've had this credit crunch. We're all in a situation where we want to make a difference to other people and to our own lives. I'm just going to share another video.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep. It all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Imagine investing in companies like these when they first went public and riding their growth to where they are today. Those who made wise decisions to get involved gained incredible wealth. Now it's your turn. When it comes to regenerative anti-aging science, stem cells are the future. And thanks to LifeWave, you are at the forefront of it all. Don't miss out. X39 puts you on the threshold of explosive growth in your business like no other product ever could. And all you need to do is try it and share it with others. The LifeWave X39 patch, an absolute breakthrough. For your body, for your business. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today. We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later.
Yeah. So I'd like you to pause for a minute and think to yourself, what's most important in your life right now? Is it family? Is it time freedom? Health? Security? Travel? Less debt? Just consider for the moment. And Richard Branson said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity but you're not sure you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. It's time to jump. And we do have Zoom calls regularly and other trainings. So I would like to stop my share. So I understand there were some questions, and I also wanted to, so the only question was about the price of the X49, and yes, that price was just for X49 and X39. I'm just going to show you the Black Friday offers because I think these are amazing. So bear with me while I get that up. Probably best if I go back to my hidden, so I've got an incognito window set to Canada here. So if you do shop and then Black Friday deals, then we will see what we have. So you can get the Renew, Advance and Eon, so that is glutathione, carnosine and Eon for 30% off. You can get a pack that includes X39, X49 and ENR Spark, otherwise known as Energy Enhancer, for 30% off. Or you can get X49, ENR Spark and IceWave for 30% off. So those are great value packages. And when you're on Melanie and Christina's website, you just click shop now. And when you do, you'll come up with that option. So if you wanted to join us, then what you do is you click on join here. Click to say you are not a robot. Oh, here we go. Hey ho. It agrees that I'm not a robot, so that's good. And then here is where you get those 4 options. The starter pack is just $25, to which you can add those Black Friday deals, or the core or the advance, which are great offers for most of the time. And of course, when you're listening to the recording and Black Friday is over, then it'll just be these options, but they are great options. And you can add anything to the starter pack, but we recommend the core and the advanced packs as the best options. And then you go through that, and yeah, Melanie and Christina can take you through that.
And we just had a question about building your own packs. I do believe there are a few other options, right? Once you're in the shopping part of it.
So if you say, is this from the point of view of a customer or of a brand partner?
I'm not sure. Let's maybe go with customer for the majority.
Catherine, can you, yeah, we could do both maybe.
Yeah, we can do both. So if we go, if I do open a new tab. So if I'm here in the shop, she said, yes. So if we're in the shop, so you're just going to have a look, and we're going to, you don't want the Black Friday deals. So you can do either shop all, or you can choose one of these. If you go to shop all, you'll see all the products available in Canada. And if you are in America, you just change this to United States. If you're in France, you change this to France. So you'll see they're grouped in Europe, and then Asia is at the bottom. So here's the Black Friday deals, and here are the other options. So you can decide, oh, this is the discounted bundle with X39 and X49 for bone density and EMF protection and cardiovascular protection, so that one. But then you can just add any numbers together, okay? And then these are the creams that I briefly touched on as well. So if, say, we want to have that discounted bundle, add to cart, and then we want to carry on shopping, so we want maybe some maybe an extra X39 because I want to try it for a couple of months. And then if I think I want some LIFEWAVE because I've got a painful knee, so now you'll see that there are 4 things in the cart. As you hover over the cart, you will see that you get these options to go straight to checkout or to become a preferred customer. And this is where you can save $210 US on that order. So you click on preferred customer, and that's where you get given the option. So having looked at this, you can still decide, actually, I don't want to set up an auto order at this stage, and I can just go as a guest. You can just click on that and go back to the retail price, or you can click on this one and set up an auto order, and then you can always stop it and go back to retail or ask to defer it. So let's say you want to do that, and then you've got a reduced rate for all of the patches. Okay, now if instead, let's go and empty our cart, view cart, there we go. So my cart's empty. Let's go back to our enrollment kit selection. So say you've decided you want to try, you've got 3 people that you think would benefit from these. So you've decided to go for the advanced. So you click on select, and you can see here you've got 6 patches, 6 sleeves of X39 there, and you've got a green line at the bottom. Okay, now if we decide to take out some of these, because we're going to use some of the other patches, so we're going to use 3 sleeves of X39, you can see the line has gone yellow because your kit's not complete. Then you click on the patches button, or if you want to get the skincare, you click on the skincare. It looks like it's just the regenerating trio, which includes the aloe vera patches and some of the creams. So let's say we want to go and add some patches. So you can add patches until this turns green again. So say we're going to add some of the Renew, which is glutathione, Advance, which is carnosine for brain fog and age-related memory decline, the Eon for reducing inflammation in the body and reducing anxiety. Say we're going to add SP6 to reduce some food cravings, and I quite fancy some Alavida. And I'm going to add some energy enhancer or ENR Spark. So now the line's gone green. Now if I decide to add another one, so I'm going to get 2 Eon, you'll see this turns red. So you know you've got to remove one of these, which we can do here by just reducing the number, and it goes green again. Okay, and then you go to continue once this line is green. And then you can set up your auto order. So we recommend you set up an auto order. Initially, you can make it just 1 pack of X39 to start with, and you can always come back and add in some of the other patches, but this just makes sure that you don't miss out on any of the points and things. So you get multi-unit pricing. You'll see that there's a reduction in price if you order more than one of the ancillary patches. And we click on save. So now that's set up the auto order. And then you fill in your information and payment details, what you want on your personal website. So as soon as this order goes through, you will have your own website to share if you want to. And you don't have to. It doesn't matter to the world that you've got a website, but you can share it right from that first day. If you're excited about talking to your aunt or your nephew about it, that's there.
Dr. Ali, and I know Melanie and I also do sometimes where we do the auto, but we do like 3 months or 6 months at one time. So we only pay one shipping. And that's also, the products are also a little bit cheaper as well.
Yeah, that's great. So once you are a brand partner, let me just change my view. So this is my back office as a brand partner. If we go to store, you'll see there's maintenance kits here. So once you've joined, you can maintain your auto order, and you know, that's complicated. But oh gosh, you're lucky you've got an Alavida maintenance pack, which we don't have. But anyway, that aside, you can buy a 6-month pack that saves you loads of money. You can either have one that has the other patches or one that has X39 and X49. You can do a 3-month pack or a 6-month pack, and that maintains your points so that you don't lose points in your business while you're trying out the patches and getting to understand whether you are going to build the business or not. Yeah, so that's another great option. So for example, the 6-month X39, maybe it's the other one. So this one is the best value. It's also the most pricey. So it's $749.50 US. But each of those sleeves of X39 and X49 is about $84 plus tax and shipping, and you can retail it at $159 plus tax and shipping. So if you are feeling, you know, entrepreneurial minded, this is a great pack to have. And then what you do is when you click next, you get to select what proportion you want of X39 and X49. It gives you 9 sleeves.
Also had a question, Ali, I'm trying to find your question back here. I've had quite a few private ones coming into me as well. So can a person be using phototherapy or light therapy for vitiligo? Is that pronounced right?
Vitiligo, yeah.
Vitiligo, take these at the same time.
Yeah, both. That right-hand case of the 2 vitiligo ones was using a light box as well. Absolutely.
Wonderful. And I did have a private message.
By light box, are we talking about red light therapy or like a
I think he was using a daylight
therapy for
Yeah.
SAD or for those
Yeah.
sort of cases? Okay.
Well, yes, because it has an effect on the skin. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And someone was asking about the best one for inflammation, like maybe the X39 plus. Which one would you recommend?
The X39 plus Eon, the
Aeon.
Aeon. And it is called the same in Canada.
Yes, for one of them.
And it's good that you've got them all now, because for a long time you didn't even have X39. Then they put X39 in and you couldn't get the Y-age trio, but now you seem to have all of them looking in that back office, which is great.
Yes, I think when we were talking to you originally, we couldn't even get that. That was last spring or winter.
And Alex followed that up. She said, I was talking about what in Canada we call phototherapy.
Yeah.
Is that did
yeah, so that would be the sun equivalent sort of lights that would help people.
Yeah, so daylight. So
seasonal affective disorder and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we all use that, you know. Yeah.
Well, we all live in really grey places.
Well, you know, if we're living at this latitude, then you know.
Okay, so a few other questions coming in. How many can you use at the same time, or do you just use them in different spots on the body?
Use them at different spots in the body, and we recommend that you rest a spot overnight if you used a patch during the day. So I have my X39 on the back of my neck during the day, and my X49 below my tummy button during the day, and my SP6 for hormone balance, because I've got an underactive thyroid, above on my left leg, above my ankle, and those positions are in the leaflets.
Yeah,
and then during the night, I actually use my patches on a mask, because there's something that we call the that's right. The leaflets
you can't
come
see
with
it very
them.
well.
Yeah, the leaflets have this information in them. And at night, I do what's called the LIFEWAVE facelift to help with my laggy upper eyelids. So I have, on my nighttime face mask, I have Eon, carnosine and glutathione over my eyes, but on the face mask.
Nice.
And then I have either the Silent Nights or the Aloe Vera higher up on my forehead. We call ourselves Dalmatians. We have so many spots on us.
So there's someone saying the subscription discount, how many months do you have to stay on? Can you switch up the options? And I think you can do all that, and you can get off immediately if you want, right? Like you could do the one just to get the price, the better price, and then change it or whatever pretty much immediately, right? Once your order comes.
I haven't tried that, but theoretically you might be able to do that. And certainly I heard this week that you can put it off twice in a year to 2 months or 3 months.
So just by calling them or doing it online saying,
yeah,
okay.
It would make sense though to even pay the $25, I would think, just to be able to get the reduced price of the product, right? Because
you're saving 50.
Yes.
You're saving 50.
Yes, exactly. If you buy the $25 and become a brand partner, not only do you have that ability to earn, but also you're not tied to the auto order. The auto order as a brand partner is just so that you keep your points for building your business. And so you could just buy one sleeve. I mean, you probably want to buy more, because the whole point is you do need to be trying them for that 6 or 9 months, depending on your age. But you still get the wholesale price, even if you're not on auto order, even if you haven't bought for a month.
The core pack includes those few packages, right? It does include your $25 brand partner.
Exactly, it does indeed, yes.
And it's the X39 though that we recommend instead of the other ones, just to take the confusion away while you're beginning, because the X39 does.
The X39 will increase glutathione levels. It will increase melatonin levels. I didn't try anything else for about 6 months. I just stayed on X39.
Okay. There's another question about MS, I believe. It says M.
Oh yes.
Yes. What is recommended for MS?
So we're not allowed to make recommendations for particular illnesses, but if you think about MS, it's an autoimmune disorder with inflammation and nerve problems going on. Yeah. So we know that carnosine helps with nerve problems. We know that Eon helps with inflammation. And we know that we want X39 to heal us from the bottom up, from within outwards. So I would recommend all of those. But in actual fact, we could all benefit from all of them, which is why I'm using all of them, except occasionally I use energy enhancer if I've had a bad night's sleep or whatever. But we know that we could all benefit from all of them. But those are the priority with MS. And I would add in soon after that the glutathione.
Detox.
But the glutathione you only need to use 3 times a week if you read the leaflet.
Right.
So your pack will last you 2 months.
Right.
We also had a question. Are these legal to sell in like a brick and mortar business? Could somebody,
Yes.
a practitioner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can retail them from your bricks and mortar business. You can, we've got hairdressers. I've got about 30 clinics retailing them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you have a lot of like our what's the word for it?
Our little group.
little
A lot of
group
functional
has-
medicine doctors, a lot of clinic owners, a lot of health coaches, but I particularly have focused on functional medicine doctors because we're, to see things like vitiligo and diabetic retinopathy improve is unheard of. Neuropathic pain, tinnitus, to see these things improve, it just doesn't happen in allopathic medicine or even in functional medicine. And in functional medicine, you have to delve so deep into the root causes. It's great to have something causing improvement while we are digging deep.
Right, to keep people inspired to continue, right? Because that's the problem is you think about how long it takes us to get into these positions of unhealth. It takes a long time to dig it out, especially if you're with your diet or whatever. And it can happen, but it takes longer. So having the support of all these patches is just it breaks different grounds, right? So because
absolutely,
it inspires people. So
yes, absolutely. And if you join Melanie and Christine, you will be part of my group as well and part of George's group, and we're here to help you. We have regular trainings and I'm happy to support you. So Ali's been asking about signing up for herself, her husband and adult daughter. Most cost-effective way would be, so would you be buying for them or would you be signing them up as brand partners under you, Ali? I expect buying for them. So in that case, I would just buy the advanced pack and then you'd be buying a pack you'd be buying some patches for each of them. But if as brand partners, they could each come in with a core pack.
And Gigi's asking about longevity. So from what I understand, you get to a place where you're well, and then you can, you see how it goes, right? If you can lessen it, go every couple of days, that sort of thing. But I'll defer that to you.
Well, it all depends when you want to start aging again, because these are age reversal. So I'm not going to stop using them. I know Eva's not going to stop using them. Are you, Eva? Nope.
Lynn is a friend of ours using them as well, and she is swearing by them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I had one district nurse, a community nurse, who'd had neuropathic pain in her foot for about 10 years, and it disappeared with the first application of LIFEWAVE, and then she started using the X39 as well. On the 5th day of the X39, she didn't need IceWave anymore. It's incredible to have something that heals the root cause of things like neuropathic pain instead of being high on gabapentin and opiates. It's just crazy. It just drives me crazy not being able to share this more.
I've had well, it's my brother actually, but he's had diabetes, insulin dependent for the last almost 10 years, 9 years for sure. And he would, like, when I would go with him for walks in the winter, in the Canadian winter with his dog and whatever, he's had points where he's been screaming in pain from his fingers, and he had giant gloves on, but they just don't get the blood flow anymore. Right. So he had serious neuropathy, and it was very painful for him. And he said he was out the other day in 2-degree weather in a t-shirt, and he hasn't been able to do that in a decade.
Wow.
I know, it's amazing. That's because you feel like you're getting your life back, right? And me, myself, I've had it seems to be a family thing, but we get skin tags. I don't know how frequently other people get, but anyway, they've actually been dropping off me, which is awesome.
That's wonderful.
I didn't want them anyway.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because skin tags are actually a sign of insulin resistance.
Yeah.
You know? So that's wonderful. So that means there's an underlying improvement in your blood glucose processing.
Exactly.
And I have to
Fantastic.
say, I get acute pain like in my hip, but it's not all the time. But the other night, it was so bad I couldn't sleep, and I fumbled through and I found my ice wave, put it on, fell asleep. The next day, you would never know I even had pain. It's funny because I could feel the patch is like warm, like so much light, and was generating through that heat of that patch. And I did the same with a headache the other day, and I never get headaches, like I'm blessed that way. But I had had a magnet treatment. It was really, intense, and I just started getting ringing in my ear and this really bad headache. I thought I'm down and out for the night. Put the patches on. Within a few minutes, I'm like up making dinner and going, oh my God, what? Well, I got my life back. It was
That's amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And then Ali's asking, chronic cellulitis, antibiotics for 18 years, and chronic edema, one leg, the leg with cellulitis. The leg is about double the size of the other. So X39 will gradually cause an improvement, or what I would recommend, if you can, to use the Eon as well to reduce the inflammation. And glutathione may be helpful at some point as well, because there's probably some toxicity as well. But the main thing is the X39. Because I'm a doctor and I understand it and I've got to know these things, I keep complicating things by talking about all the others. But in actual fact, all we need is X39. It's magic, absolutely magic. And you hear all these celebrities talking about stem cell injections, but you don't need to spend 35,000 and go to Costa Rica to get stem cell injections when we can,
which may or may not work as well.
Which may or may not work.
Because they're very specific, right? So
yeah, that little boy Alex I told you about with the autism, he had stem cell injections on 2 occasions with no impact. And yet with that first patch, there was a difference. Crazy.
It's amazing.
I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions.
And feel free to open up your mic if you want to jump in and ask a question without typing it in the chat. You're welcome to.
If you feel immediate relief within an hour or so, should you remove the patch and save it until you need it, or keep it on for 12? You should keep it on for 12, Catherine. Because the point is it's doing stuff that you don't notice, right? Even you might not notice it right away. There isn't always an immediate result for everybody, but it's doing something. Again, it's whatever your body needs to be done first. So some people that will be skin tags or something obvious, right? For other people, it'll be doing something at a deeper level that you may not notice right away, which is why we suggest 3 to 6 months. Or what Dr. Ali had spoken of before about how many years you've been alive, decades unwell, etc. So,
yeah, absolutely. So I'd recommend keeping on for the 12 hours.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions? I know we could be here all day with.
And this can help with, exactly. This can help with general, like there was brain trauma questions. From someone before as well. So generally healing of that would be X39 as well as the basis patch.
Yes. And I probably want to add in the Eon to reduce the inflammation as well. And the carnosine, which helps with nerves, including memory and brain fog. And carnosine is really great for eyes. We've got cases of improved glaucoma, and we're not allowed to say that, of course, because it doesn't treat any disease, but we've seen cases of improved eyes.
And the interesting thing is it's not transdermal, like it's why these athletes were allowed to use it, because there's nothing going into your skin from the patch. The patch only has the crystals that help the frequency reflect back into our system so that it can optimize it. And somebody had asked about the adhesive as well, because they're very allergic to things. And that just makes me think that those are the people that really need that sort of product, because we shouldn't have these intricate allergies to things. But it just means that our bodies are at a toxin level that we need to work on that so that we can not have reactions to simple things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And someone just asked which was the one that I said helps with eyes and nerves. Carnosine if you're anywhere else, Advance if you're in Canada.
Advance, right. And next steps, Gigi's asking next steps. So that would be a link we'll send you. Are we sending that in an email, Christine? The back office link that the link that they can go in to do the shopping steps that Dr. Ali actually went over for the most part. And of course, if there are any questions or if you're having difficulties, you can reach out to us and we can help you as best as we can to go through that as well.
Exactly. And Ali had a question as well. She had her right hand up.
Perfect.
I'd gone to typing.
Either works. Either works.
Yeah. Well, two questions. The first would be in trying to sort it all out. So supplements that I'm currently taking, which are quite a lot. Would it be okay to drop off some supplements? Like, I'm just trying to figure out cost for 3 people and try this out, right?
Of course.
So I'm trying to sort out that, if it would be all right to drop some supplements in order to try that out. And the other is Black Friday deals. How long is that available for? Does it give me
Monday evening, I think.
Talk to my family and
yeah,
wangle them into yet another idea I have.
I reckon it's Monday evening. I'll just have a look. But it'll say on the links. Yeah.
It's okay.
I can look that up. I think it was either Monday evening or Tuesday. Let me just double check if you want.
I can. Yeah, it's sort of Tuesday morning in America, and it was Tuesday morning in the UK and Monday evening in America usually for these things. Yeah, limited. It's to December the 3rd, 2024. You're right. Tuesday.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's a good add-on if you want to take advantage of, especially like, you know, the trio pack or whatever. You can order maybe the core pack to start and throw that in as an extra if you're going to want to try it anyway down the way, and you're getting the 30% off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, I will be sending out. So as usual, I sent a follow-up newsletter for our whole community. That will probably come out tomorrow, but I can also get you a quicker email as well if you'd like to look today with these important links just personally to your emails that are here. And I know of a lot of people, have quite a list of people who were like, I need the replay. I wasn't able to make it, so they'll also be getting that. I'll just do a quick edit from the beginning.
Lynn says she's been cycling the YH on her kids. She's wondering which is best for anxiety, OCD, ADD, and ADHD. So the X39 is the most important one. So if you can only afford one, make it the X39. With anxiety, so basically the Eon, or yes, it is Eon in Canada, that improves inflammation, and the result of that is it improves anxiety, PTSD, things like that. So it's really good for mental health. The young lad was originally with autism was originally just on X39. I think they're now adding in some of the others because they can easily afford to, because they've got such a compelling story. But the carnosine is the one that helps with nerves, so I would add in that as well. And the carnosine, it says in the leaflet you can use that every other day, so it often suggests alternating carnosine and glutathione, for example. But the priorities in that would be X39, Eon, carnosine.
And is it is it safe for pregnant ladies?
That's a great question. And I have a thing that I share that says basically it's like drug companies. This has not been tested on pregnant women or lactating women or people with cancer or active chemotherapy. But if I was having most of those situations, I would still carry on with it. We do suggest stopping the X39 while you're actually having your chemotherapy treatment and then restarting afterwards. Not for the whole course, but for the dose. So if you're having weekly chemotherapy injections, stop the X39 on that day and restart the next day. But and always work with your doctors, of course. But for pregnancy and lactating, we have plenty of cases where people have carried on using it, you know. And we see that so often people are having to carry on with their Prozac through pregnancy, or they're having to carry on with strong painkillers through pregnancy because they have such severe back pain. This is going to be much better for the body than that.
Yes, like it's hard to even imagine sort of interactions other than it's just your own body, healing at a more rapid rate, right? And
Yeah,
giving your body what it naturally wants to produce anyway.
yeah,
Um, so yeah.
yeah. But as I say in my little text that I send people, the thing is, it's a bit like examining a woman who's pregnant to check for whether it's thrush or something. If they then have a miscarriage, their gut reaction is to blame the person who examined them. It's like that. So it's not going to have an effect, but if you happen to have a problem like a miscarriage, some people might blame the patch, and that's why we can't actually recommend people use the patch in pregnancy, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Hope you don't mind my candor on these things.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. And I think is that yeah, we've clarified the Black Friday sale ends this Tuesday, the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think that's any other questions? It's like we don't want to let you
Now's the time.
think of
Yeah.
something. But as Dr. Ali mentioned, she is very accessible, always helpful in answering our questions. We chat with her on our WhatsApp group. And if you are looking to do, this potentially as a business or share with other people, she has so many wonderful people that are always contributing to these chats that are wealths of knowledge and share their testimonials that could help you with other people as well.
Mostly in the health profession. So again, they know both sides of the coin, right? So
We've got a special group of people using them in pets, don't we, with Eva in?
Yeah. Oh, and that's one thing I wanted to ask, actually, when you were talking about patching the pets. Would you have to shave, like, where are you putting it on pets? Do you have to shave that area? Blah, blah, blah. Like, give people an idea.
Yeah, so if it's the first time, if you're not used it on yourself first, they're quite sticky, so they'll often stick. It depends where you're putting it. So I've got some people who are putting it just on the tummy of their dog where there's less fur. For me personally, I'm using a sort of an old hairband as a bandana on each of my dogs. So they've all got these bandanas on, and then I stick the patches on the underside of that. You can secure it with micropore or other surgical tape or sellotape. So lots of ways around things.
Perfect. Good information. Yeah. I have to try that on my
and
dog.
officially, we're not supposed to say that it's useful in pets,
Of course.
And now the bigger the animal, like a horse that weighs,
Yeah. So there
you
is actually, if I'm looking, there is actually a patch. There is actually a patch that's not in this presentation because it's created by the South African guys and they don't have it. It's not actually in this presentation, but there's a patch called AccuLife, which is IceWave, but with a stronger adhesive. So in America, you can get it. I will just look at my Open Incognito Canada one and see.
And I just want to mention as well, for many of us in Canada that live near border cities, it is potentially, before certain products were available in Canada, Mel and I actually just would pop over an hour and make it a shopping date to Michigan, Port Huron. And, if you have access to that as well, sometimes.
And that's where those maintenance packs are so useful. So yes, the the AccuLife is available in the US, but not in Canada. I just looked on your back office. Swimming? Yeah, so I found that, Melanie, the Olympic swimming teams use them for swimming and don't have a problem. So it's fine if it's here. But with my SP6, which is on my ankle, of course, because I'm moving my ankle the whole time I'm swimming, it comes straight off after a few lengths,
So that's what I meant. Like the skin as it like the one on my wrist that I've had before came off fastest because it's getting wet frequently and the skin just expands and contracts. So you're always putting those wrinkles back in that area, right? So for certain areas, it's not going to have as much adhesion, but you could actually put, again, like you said, the bandana on the dogs. You could put a bandana over it, or you could
put it under your Fitbit or whatever. I've got a Whoop here, so I could put it under there.
I was going to say a Band-Aid you could put over across it, right? Just to keep it on, because it's not the outward light going in through the patch that you need. It's your own internal light that's refracting through it.
So if you're wearing a swimming costume, because you're a woman, you could put for example, the energy enhancer. It goes nicely underneath your swimming costume and is held in place by a swimming costume as well.
True.
And it's fine for showers.
That would be a bathing
Yep.
suit.
And Lynn was saying under her bathing suit. Yeah, yeah.
Translate.
2 countries divided by the same language, eh?
Indeed. Well, that is good to know, Lynn. Thank you. And Dr. Ali about the swimming.
Yeah, I've worn mine in the shower before and I've never had a problem, but I have had one, like I said, that peeled and I just literally thought, I'm not going to waste that. I took a Band-Aid and stuck it down. There you go.
Yeah.
Stick it back on.
Yep. And actually with my headache, I moved them. I had it on here for about 5 hours. And when I was going to bed, I decided to move it down here, which is another point they
Perfect.
recommend for headaches. And I was feeling a bit of tension in my neck as well, from all of the magnetic healing I was doing. So I moved it down here, fell asleep with them on. They were on in the morning and I felt great.
Yeah, and you had a lot of success with that. Yeah. And your hip too with the pain. Yeah. That's amazing.
It was amazing.
I mean, better not to have to put, anti-inflammatories or any sort of prescription drug into you, because that just complicates other organs, right? Like
Absolutely.
Well, and
much
even
better.
long term, we don't want those pills in our body
Exactly.
long term. But also, I want my body to start reproducing and healing itself. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what I want long term for my body.
Yeah.
Well, I thank everybody so much for being here. We've gone a little longer than we thought because it's so interesting and there's so many great things to say. As I mentioned, I'll send out this replay. Please feel free to share it with friends, have them get in touch with myself, and we can connect you as well with Dr. Ali for any specific questions. We're a part of her team, so we're very happy to all work together. And yeah, on behalf of Mel and myself and Power and Aging, we are super thrilled to introduce this as part of our new Spotlight products.
Yeah.
And
First one.
yay!
Great one to start with.
We had to start with this one, didn't we?
Yes, totally.
Best results,
Absolutely.
yeah. And thank you everybody for being here. We really appreciate it, and we will be in touch. And please reach out to us as well.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.